Hi, it's Destiny. I just wanted to explain to everyone the importance of gardening and exactly the benefits of gardening, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and also overcoming obstacles that comes with garden. So first off, when you think about a garden, you got to think about the definition. According to Merriam-Webster, a garden is a plot of ground where herbs, fruits, flowers, or vegetables are cultivated. And a lot of people think that gardening is hard. According to the quote by Texas Bixbender, the best way to garden is to put on a wide brimmed straw hat and some old clothes, and with a hoe in one hand and a cold drink in the other, tell somebody else where to dig. So I understand gardening is hard, but it's actually very rewarding. A fun fact about gardening is that most of the vegetables in your vegetable plot are actually fruits. So tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, all of those, all fruits. Gardening also helps increase your neighborly love. I always have extra vegetables and fruits that I just cannot consume. There's just too much. So I'm able to give it to my neighbors. So the first point I want to talk about when it comes to gardening is the benefits all around for all facets of society in gardening. There's better soil and air quality. And of course, this is because plants are filters. They naturally filter. So through photosynthesis and the Calvin cycle, they're able to filter out all the impurities, which increases the amount of nutrition in the soil and in the air. The second point I want to make is when you garden on your own and become a localitarian, as I like to say, you cut down on air pollution. Now, I want to show you guys something. This is a graph about the cost of importing food. As you can see, the miles that we have to import food and the amount of carbon dioxide that's emitted because we import our food is extremely high. Also, a great benefit of gardening is you get cheap food. As you can see here, I got a tomato yesterday, a pepper yesterday, and 2 cucumbers yesterday as well. So it's cheaper than going to the grocery store, but it's also very nutritious and it's fresh food and it tastes great. Another thing I would like to talk about is the benefits health-wise. So there's not only vitamins in vegetables, as many of you guys don't know, in one green bell pepper, there is twice the amount of vitamin C as there's oranges. But also you're outside, so you're in the fresh air, you're collecting vitamin D. It's very good. It's very, very good for you. Actually, some physicians have started what's called horticultural therapy. And what horticultural therapy is getting people to go outside and start gardening because it's therapeutic. It's helped with anxiety and depression. So gardening is actually a lot of fun if you actually, it's very rewarding, and that can help with a ton of diseases. So let's talk about when, where, and what to plant. So first is when. You want to plant in April during the springtime. Don't do it too late and don't do it too early. So you want to make sure that all the ground is already thawed. Second, where. You want to choose a sunny spot with great soil, and you would like to choose a spot that's close to a hose bib. And when I say great soil, you want to find soil that drains well as collects nutrition. I know that sounds like it's an oxymoron, but you don't want to get root rot from overwatering your plants. And then 3, choosing the plants, choose beginner plants. Tomatoes are easy, cucumbers are easy, zucchinis are easy, strawberries are easy. You kind of just put it in the ground, make sure you water it, and they grow. So watering is a very important step to gardening. When you garden, you want to make sure you water once or twice a day, and you don't want to overwater or underwater. If you overwater, you can cause root rot and other problems like that. But one way you can tell if your plant has enough water is If the leaves are bent up like this, that means it has enough water. If they're flat, they don't have enough water, or if they're drooping, they don't have enough water. So another thing that you like to do is feed your plants. I know a lot of people don't know, but nitrogen is a good source, and decomposing organic material is good. What I use actually is egg shells. I store all my old eggshells, and when I have a carton full of them, I crush them up and put them on my plants for that extra nutrition. Also, pollination. Some people may experience problems with pollination if you can't get bees, birds, or other insect animals to come and pollinate your plants. One way that you can correct this is to cut off a male piston stem and then push it into the female flowers, and this will pollinate the flowers so you will get the fruit. So there's many obstacles you have to overcome in farming and gardening, and one of those is the wind. The wind causes erosion, and it also causes plants to bend over. One of my tall plants, like tomato plants, grow very tall, for instance. I have to stake up. And to do this, it's very easy. I just cut 3 stakes. I drill 2 screws, one at the bottom, one at the top, and hang wire all around the post. And this will hold my tomato plant up so that when the wind blows, it doesn't blow my tomato plant over and break its stem. Also, weeds are, they will compete against your plants for sun and water. So you want to be sure to pull the weeds out from your plant, but be careful. Do not damage your plant in the process. But it is very important to weed. Another problem that many of us face down in the East Coast pretty much is deer. Deer love to eat gardens just as much as we do, I'm sure. So one possible solution is to get a fence. I don't have that luxury. I don't get any sunlight in my backyard, so my garden is in my front yard, and it's just not feasible to put a fence around it. So there's many things you can do. The first, of course, is deer do not like human hair. They don't like human soap either, and they don't like dog hair. Dog hair scares them. Now, if you don't want any of these solutions, I sometimes even put dog feces in my yard to try and scare them away. Just very natural solutions. But another thing that you can try is deer and rabbit repellent. This is eco-friendly. What it is it's sometimes you can buy the ones with urine, and sometimes you can buy the ones with dried blood. And I have both, and it scares the deer away effectively. Also, you can try and put cayenne pepper in your yard. They don't like cayenne pepper either. So just to go over again why gardening is great. There's many benefits. You get close to your neighbors, your health improves, you can be outside and enjoy the outdoors. You have cheaper food bills because you don't need to buy all these vegetables and fruits. Gardening is easy. It only realistically takes 10 to 20 minutes each day. Watering does not take that long, and if you buy your own irrigation system, then it shouldn't be long at all. You just turn on the hose bib. Now, I've made my own irrigation system just so I can turn on a hose bib and walk and watch the plants. Now, you don't need to do that, but it is important to look at your plants every day to see what's growing, what's not, and maybe to try and find a solution to the problems. In conclusion, don't just garden for yourself, garden for everyone. You can reduce your eco footprint by great numbers if you garden. It cuts down on air pollution, it cuts down on soil pollution, it cuts down on land you use, because now you're not having to go out and use another farmer's land, you're using your own land for your own good. So please think about gardening. It's a great hobby.